Hey Norm, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. A couple of different things. One is when you look
What's the
at your
question?
whole body of work last year, uh, is there one thing you think you can do that would kind of elevate
You
that
good, Freddie?
and huh?
No, nothing.
Okay,
Well,
sorry.
can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah, that's totally good. Is there when you look at that season you had, especially the way you performed coming out of all those injuries was incredible. Is there one thing you can draw out of those peak levels that you think you can either improve on or maybe hit even more consistently to make this year? I can't imagine it being better than last year, but I'm sure you want it to be better.
Uh, I don't know what that meant by I can't imagine that being better than
Well, I'm
last year.
saying, I mean, you played great, and I know you would expect that you would play even better. But so
You
if
don't think I
that's the
can elevate
budget,
my
I know
game?
that's always your goal. What do you think you could do to
Uh,
to reach another level? Which I'm saying you're at a good level.
I don't know. It sounded like you said I couldn't elevate my game, but I come in every season trying to do better than what I did last year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Watch what I did and how I can improve my mental focus, and each year is different. So I just look back and take away the things that I did well and try to bring into the next season and just increase the workload and consistency and take advantage of the opportunity. So I don't know what you meant by that, but yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, I guess that's exactly what I meant.
Let him know, man. Better.
What
Yes, sir.
what out
Come on,
of
Mike.
that
Come on,
what
man.
you
You know
did
better.
last year did you look at?
Go ahead, Mike.
All right, let's let them finish so you guys can get out of here.
My question was this. Is exactly what you said. Like you look at what you did last year, you played great. I know you want to play better. What out of last year do you think shows you a way you can elevate your game even more?
Focusing on the little things. I thought I did a great job of that. Especially when I was out. I looked at the game differently. My whole mental approach was different when I stepped on the floor, when I was going through those obstacles, those injuries, and just being able to capitalize on that. I was able to, like I said, view things a little differently, and I just changed my whole approach while still keeping the same work ethic and workload up, improving on the things I need to improve on. And so this year the team looks a little different. There's going to be more opportunity for me. I know the guys are going to rely on me a little bit more. So I'm excited for what's the upcoming season is going to bring. It's going to be a little different. You're going to face new obstacles and adversities with everything going on, all the protocols and things like that. So, I'm just working on that and working on the areas I can improve my game while still trying to stay consistent in the areas that I've built on throughout my career.
Appreciate it, Norm. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Hey, Norm, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. You sort of touched on it there. That was going to be my question about the opportunity this year. A year ago, going into camp, you sort of identified that opportunity at your position with Kawhi and Danny gone, while Serge and Mark don't play your position or didn't play your position. This does seem to enable Nick to go smaller and to do some different things with the lineup. Where do you sort of see your role growing or maybe evolving in different ways this year?
I see myself being even more of a leader, getting that second unit at the level that we want to play at. I thought, me and Serge did a great job of leading that unit, bringing that energy when we needed it to, when guys, whatever happened, injuries, foul trouble, whatever it was during the season, we were able to step in and fill that role and make sure that there's no drop off, when that unit comes in. So I see myself taking a step in that area. Obviously, I see myself taking a step in production and things like that, doing what the team needs me to do. And I think that's the biggest challenge for me this year is how do I get the news guys coming in, the chemistry to a level that needs to be us rolling as the season goes along, so we can make an impact and continue to stay with that high level of play, competitiveness, and just keep playing Raptors basketball. And that's my job to make sure that unit is doing that.
Between Serge and Mark, there was pretty much always a center on the floor last year, maybe less so in the playoffs where Nick went smaller a little bit more often. If there are more small ball lineups out there this year, how does that change things for you on the floor without there being a center out there?
I think it changes me being able just to get guys in the right spots, kind of more of a floor general, talking a lot more. I think, our offense was great when we had Mark and Serge out there because we play through them a little bit. I just on the playoff when we went small, we was able to pick up the pace, pressure guys, get out in transition, get some stops, and the offense moved quicker, So with the opportunity with some of the guys that we have on this team, I think we'll be able to have a faster pace in that second unit, and we can mix up matchups and different looks that we can utilize to our advantage.
Thanks, Norm. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. You too.
Hey, Norm. You've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but obviously last season there were stretches where, one of Serge was missing, and so Chris obviously had to play a bigger role for the bench. Did you notice sort of a style change whenever it was Chris as the center for that second unit? And what are some of the special skills that I think, Chris Boucher in particular brings?
Yeah, man, just his energy, man. I mean, he's long, athletic. He plays hard every possession. He sacrifices his body for the betterment of the team. He's all about winning. You saw that. He was a big reason why we came back from that 30-point deficit against Dallas. You just see it in when he plays. He's a guy who's able to stretch the defenses out when he's on the floor. He's quick. We can do a lot of different things with him because he's a lob threat. He's a pop threat, like I said before, him being able to shoot the three. So it's a different look. Serge, likes to play in the mid-range game and use his size when he gets a smaller matchup on him in the post. I think this Chris adds that level of intensity that we need to have in that second unit. He's going to get a lot more opportunity to be able to do that and showcase his talents and utilize that high motor that he has.
And then a second question, I noticed on some of the runs that get uploaded to YouTube that you played a little bit with Utah Watanabe in the summertime. Can you let us know what's in his game, what you noticed just from even your short time just playing him with him there and also in training camp?
Yeah, I really like his game. He has a lot of potential. He works hard. He's a guy who can step out and shoot the three. He's not afraid to bring the ball up. He's still learning the flow of our offense and defensive foundations, but he's picking it up really quickly and doing all the things that we need him to do, pressuring the ball, being in gaps, using his length. The more and more he grows, his game and understanding the team concepts and things like that, I think he's going to be able to really help us during the season. Just being another guy to be able to get out there and run, put pressure on the rim, put pressure on the defenses when he's running to the corner and knocking those shots down. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of contact. He's not afraid of going in there and getting his nose dirty. So I think there's a lot of potential for him, and there's a lot of room for him to grow on this team.
All right. Thanks, Norm.
Hey, Norm. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to ask you about with games sort of quickly approaching. Last season, we saw a lot of social justice statements before games, and that was obviously very important to you guys, understandably. I'm wondering if you guys are planning on doing anything for this season or how you feel about those issues heading into this year.
Our stance on these issues are still the same, and now it's just about taking it to another level and making sure that we're doing the necessary things and make sure that that movement doesn't get pushed to the back of people's minds. That it's still an initiative of ours that we're going to remain strong in that front. We're going to do the right things to make sure our voices are heard on these different issues. That was a big emphasis in our team meeting, and I'm sure before the start of the season, we're going to have another team meeting and how we want to approach it and things that we're going to do as a collective organization that we've been so great at doing so far. You've seen how we came into the bubble as a team, and we're going to continue to have that initiative as the forefront of our mind and the forefront of what we do.
Do you think you guys will continue sort of making statements during the anthem? Is that something you've discussed?
Well, like I said, I think when we first have our first game, we're going to sit down and have a talk as a unit and how we want to approach things. Like I said before in the bubble, we were doing a lot of things, kneeling during the anthem, having apparel and things like that of how we felt on these issues, So we don't want to continue to do the same thing as it just gets played out. I'm sure we're going to come up with new ideas on how we can approach this issue so we can shine a different light on it and move in a different way. We don't want to keep being repetitive and seeing the same thing over and over and over again because it's going to get played and washed out. So I'm sure we're going to have a meeting and how we're going to come up with new ways to spark this topic.
Thank you.
Hey, Norm, just wondering if you can give us a sort of lowdown on what you've seen from Malachi and how you think he fits in with maybe even the second unit early on.
I like him, man. He has a lot of game to him. He's not afraid to bring the ball up. He's not afraid to get guys in position, guys afraid to score it. You can see that he's very smart. He has some great passes, and if you get to training camp, hit some big shots in the scrimmages and in the games. So he's an avid learner. He's always talking to Fred in the morning and how he can improve his game in areas that he can get better. So he doesn't have that big gap of learning things like the new guys coming there are going to have because they didn't have time to go through the summer league process and all that. But I like him, man. He's a player. He likes to play. He likes to compete, and that's what we need. We need scrappy guys like that.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Norm.
Perfect, Norm. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you're doing well, man. First question is this. Yeah, they mentioned that I'm based here in Central Florida. And, I'm curious. I know you guys might be feeling a little bit homesick because you're out of Toronto. Just how have things been going for you here in Tampa, Florida? How has the city embraced you and your teammates and just the overall feeling of being in a brand new city and living here for a while?
I think it's going to be fun. I've always liked our trips to Florida. I've never been to Tampa before, but, when we've gone to the gyms, everybody's been so welcoming. I'm excited to have us here. It's a good feeling when people are, talking to you, telling you different spots on where to go and places to eat at and things like that. So I'm excited, once I find a place and get into my place and get fully settled and not living in a hotel. I think it'll be a lot better, to find routine, find different places and areas to go. The great thing about it is since we're in Florida and the weather is going to be good, we're going to still be able to go outside and eat at outdoor places and things like that. Enjoy the weather a little bit. So I'm excited. I'm always happy to be in new areas, new places, and expand that way. And I know a lot of guys are too.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you can never go wrong with checking out the beaches here. And I want to throw one basketball question at you. It kind of seems like a lot of people in the basketball world are kind of the Lakers are going to repeat. A lot of people are saying that the focus of the basketball universe is on the Nets with KD coming back from his injury and Kyrie Irving, and maybe some of the moves that the 76ers have made with Doc being there and then Giannis and what he's going to do with the Bucks. It kind of feels like people are sleeping on your squad, the Raptors. I know you guys have lost two of your main players there with Serge and Marc Gasol, but talk to me about that perhaps, the feeling that maybe some people aren't paying attention to the Raptors and the damage that you guys can do in the season if you guys are healthy and you play well as a team. And then maybe the level of concern that you all may have playing during these times with this pandemic that we're dealing with.
Well, the concerns and things like that I think are minimal. I think the league has done a great job in making sure the players are safe and everything we do, making sure we're consistently tested every single day. I don't think guys are really worried about health at this moment in time because the way the league has handled this pandemic from the start. They've always made sure the players' health is the first and foremost a priority for us.
Yeah.
In terms of being slept on, man, this is a broken record for us every year. Somebody in the media asks this question, and it's nothing new. We're slept on since I've been here. I've been slept on as an organization since day one, dating back to Vince Carter and Dame Stoudemire and all those guys. It's nothing new for us, and we're going to continue to turn heads and, silence the critics and play our brand of basketball and make sure that we're a force. We don't care what the outside people are saying. We're going to stick to what we know best, and that's playing together, play Raptors basketball.
I hear you, man, and I wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, David.
Hey, Norm, just one more question on Malachi. You've seen so many rookies, because you're old now. When you see a guy, apart from obvious talent or skill, what makes you think this guy has a chance versus, I'm sure you've seen guys who maybe you can tell right away maybe they don't quite get it.
For me, it's the approach. You know my mentality. You know how my motto. What I stand for and how I approach the game. So I look for guys who have that same hunger, that same drive, and that same desire to get better each and every day. That guy that has that chip on his shoulder and wants to learn and willing to learn and willing to listen. Malachi got that. You guys ask a lot about Malachi. Malachi is great. I'm excited for him and the new guys that we have on our team. Same with Jalen. Jalen's been a guy who's asked me multiple questions in the morning, picking up the little things, and I've been able to talk to him and help him out. Yuta is another guy. So those guys like that who are willing to learn and see guys ahead of them and how they did it and how they can get to that level. and make that impact. Is what I look for in guys where you can tell, this guy has it. This guy has a chance to be special, be really good. Just how their mental makeup is, and that they're willing to learn and get out there and do whatever it takes to be noticed and win games. And all three of those guys have that.